People always, and myself included, hated the thought of, you know, retirement. What does that mean? But of course, you know, you get to an age and you start to count on 10 fingers how many more years you'd be working. But now they're promoting this planning of your retirement, and I don't think you actually retire as such now. You just go to part-time, quarter-time, you know, ease off out of the workplace.
The reason we've entered into a mature workforce program is so that we can really look after and retain our skilled and experienced staff, because they're very valuable to us. It's really important that staff who are perhaps thinking about retirement is really to have a conversation with their manager, just to get the ball rolling about what their intentions might be, whether they need any help. And the manager can talk to them about the resources that are available here, whether it's wellness programs, whether it's superannuation, whether it's about a change in work hours, whatever it may be that's going to support that individual. Each person's circumstances are different and there's no one size fits all. So have the conversation.
We have employees here that are grandparents who want to start looking at options to mind their grandchildren. We have employees that are a little tired of working full-time that might want to start looking at some part-time options. We have employees here who have elderly parents that want to start assisting their families in a more flexible way, and clearly they've got some options that we can make available to them.
I've reduced my hours over the years to accommodate the grandchildren. I now only work 3 days a week, and it's a perfect ratio, I think, with lifestyle and work, so it's great.
I think the biggest challenge that changes as you get older is the physical side of it. It's pretty physical working in a large kitchen, so when you're 30, that's easy. When you get into your 50s, you really feel it at the end of the day. To compensate for that, my manager and I, we share early shifts, and for some reason, starting early and finishing earlier, I don't know, you just don't feel so tired.
The correlation between general health, well-being, productivity with physical fitness and lifestyle it's not a question. If you could bottle exercise as a drug, you'd be like a multi-millionaire.
I find the exercise program much more enjoyable than I thought I would. There's a great group of people working with, very, very enjoyable, and it's far less hard than I thought it would. And I've also improved much more than I thought I would over 6 weeks.
Especially when you get older, you need to look better after your health, because it's the only body you have, and when your back and your legs don't work, you can't look after anybody else. So it's very important to look after your health with healthy eating and also exercise.
Very late in life I went back to university, so it wasn't easy, definitely not, but once I'd done it and the achievement was just, I kind of wondered why I didn't do it before then. I think there's a lot of opportunity in the organisation to look at other roles, and it's just a matter of maybe finding the right person to talk to. So my first port of call would probably be manager. Go to your manager and have a chat to them if you're looking at going elsewhere. Or if you know you're interested in a particular area, maybe talk to a manager in that area. I know for me, in terms of occupational health and safety, that's what I did. I spoke to people in that department and found out that's what I really wanted to go and explore more. So there are plenty of opportunities out there to be able to do that.
There's a lot of scope for older staff to use their experience and skills in supporting younger staff. In the wards and in the community settings, they can act as a mentor and a preceptor, sharing their wisdom. We are going to be facing a loss of a lot of our more senior staff over the next few years. The risks of that are that we are going to have a lot of units that are staffed by junior staff that are going to have huge demands placed on them around their clinical workload, their clinical experience, being stretched because they don't have the years of experience that the senior staff have, and so it's really important that we retain our senior staff for as long as we can.
When you're looking at retirement planning, often the question of timing comes into it. How early do I start the planning process? For us, it's basically now. The earlier the better. We generally like to see people at minimum 5 years prior to retirement, but if you've got longer, that's even more beneficial for us, because if there are strategies or are opportunities for people prior to that, then we can look to implement them, well in advance of retirement.
There are a lot of options for staff, and one of the biggest draw cards for them is being able to red circle their long service leave at their full-time rate as they decide to go part-time or work more flexibly, and that's been a big draw card for a lot of our employees. And if they have a look at our transition to retirement policy, which is on our intranet, there is a checklist there which they can work through with their manager and look at some of those possibilities that are open to them.
One of the challenges that it probably brings up for staff when we start talking about retirement is Austin Health wanting to get rid of us? And what I'd like to stress is this isn't about getting rid of people. This is actually about recognising that this is a problem not just for Austin Health, but we're actually focusing on this as an issue. There's a number of people that could actually retire at the moment, and just in nursing alone in the next 10 years, 30% of our nursing workforce, which is nearly 1,000 nurses, could actually leave the workforce. So we need to look at ways where we can support people to stay for longer.